You've never heard the word peculiar?
Peculiar ways of expressing themselves.
That woman is a peculiar duck.
Hey everyone, and welcome to TalkWord. This is the show where we get super curious about English words, where they come from, what they really mean, and how to use them. And today, oh man, we've got a really interesting one for you. It's the word peculiar.
All right, let's just dive right in, shall we? Imagine someone calls something you did, or maybe even you, peculiar. How are you supposed to react? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is it an insult or a compliment? You know, this is one of those words that really trips people up, but don't worry, we're going to get to the bottom of it today.
So, first things first. If this word has ever left you scratching your head, you are definitely not alone. Peculiar is a classic example of a word that seems simple on the surface, but it's just not that straightforward. And this is really the core of the problem, right? This one little word can mean something negative, something kind of neutral, or, believe it or not, something really positive. It's this chameleon-like quality that makes it so cool, but also so confusing. So, let's break it down.
Okay, let's start with the meaning you've probably heard the most. This is the one that comes up all the time in just normal, everyday chats.
So think of peculiar as being in the same club as words like strange, odd, or unusual. We use it to talk about something that just stands out. You know, it's a little bit weird, or maybe just not what you were expecting at all. Let's look at some examples. You might say, wow, this food has a peculiar taste. You're not saying it's bad, right? Just different. Something you can't quite put your finger on. Or what about, he has this peculiar habit of walking backwards. Yeah, that's definitely not something you see every day. You can even talk about a vibe, like there was a peculiar silence in the room. In every single one of these examples, peculiar is basically a flag for, hey, this is not normal. But wait a minute. If that's all it meant, this would be a pretty short explainer. That's only half the story. There is a whole other side to this word, a much more positive one actually. This other meaning is all about being unique or special. When we use peculiar this way, we're talking about a quality that belongs to one specific person or place or thing. It's something you just won't find anywhere else.
Okay, look at this. This really puts it all into perspective. On the left, his behavior is peculiar. Translation, he's acting weird. But on the right, that style of architecture is peculiar to this region. Totally different feeling, right? That's not a criticism, it's a compliment. It means this style is special, it's unique to this one place. It's the same exact word, but the meaning is worlds apart.
So, you've got to be wondering, how on earth can one word mean weird and also special? It seems kind of contradictory, doesn't it? Well, to figure this out, we have to put on our detective hats and go way back to the word's origin.
This is so cool. The journey of this word is fascinating. It all goes back to a Latin word peculium, which basically meant private property. Think of it like your own personal herd of cattle. So when the word came into English, peculiar meant something that belonged to just one person. And you can see the logic, right? If something is yours and yours alone, well then it's unique to you. And what happens when something is super unique? To other people it can start to look a little strange. And boom, there you have it. That's how we got both meanings from the very same root.
All right, so the history is fascinating, but it brings us right back to our original problem. How are we supposed to know which meaning someone is using when they say it? How do we use it correctly ourselves?
So what's the verdict? When you hear that word, is it strange or is it special? How do you know? And the answer, the big secret, is this. Context is everything. Seriously, the clue isn't in the word peculiar itself. It's in everything happening around it. You have to look at the whole sentence, the whole situation. So here are a few tools for your detective kit. First, just listen to their tone of voice. Do they sound impressed? They probably mean unique. Do they sound kind of weirded out? They probably mean strange. Second, think about what they're describing. Is it someone's weird habit? That's probably strange. Is it a special tradition of an entire country? That's almost always unique. And you know what? When in doubt, just ask. There is zero shame in saying, hey, do you mean peculiar like strange or peculiar like special? It's a great way to make sure you're on the same page. You know, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a thought from A. Milne, the guy who gave us Winnie the Pooh. It just perfectly captures that positive, special side of being peculiar. Our peculiarities, those things that make us different, are the very things that define us. So yeah, being peculiar can be a really amazing thing. And now I want to turn it over to you. What other English words do you find, well, peculiar? I mean, are there any words out there that just seem strange to you or that have a unique story? Let us know. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here on TalkWord. Keep asking questions, and we'll see you next time.
It's a peculiar trait of the privileged, immediate, incautious intimacy.